What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast about life in the music industry. I'm your host, Patrick Tarnowski. With me is Mr. Brett Harvey, and today we've got Undefeated with us, and we'll see if we can't stump / defeat them in the rapid fire.
Haven't heard that one before.
I know. It's like I'm like a dad or something with your dad jokes, dude.
Oh,
I did that. Brett, are you disappointed in me?
As a fellow dad, it was, I don't know.
Was it?
I
Was it
expected
cringy?
a little more.
Was that a little cringe?
A little bit, yeah. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the kids say these days. Was it risen?
I'm kind of the Rizzler, I think, right?
Oh boy!
And that was the last time we saw Brett on the podcast.
I don't know. My kid says some weird stuff, so
yes, yeah.
But I think we all
listening
said
to that.
weird things, in our days, in our times.
yeah.
So
Yep.
It's a good time. It's fun. We're gonna have fun today, guys. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Good. All right. Well, let's just hop. We've got. Let's introduce. We got Meredith, Christian, and Lise once again from Undefeated. So let's talk about what you got going on. Your latest stuff. You released your latest single, "Rise." Back in October 2024. Can you tell us a bit about the song and how was the response for it?
That song, this is gonna sound really bad. I always start out by saying it was my least favorite song on the EP.
Yes, mine too. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It was
All
one of those
kids.
songs that we kind of threw it together. I had the verses were in, the chorus wasn't there. We went to the studio. I'm like, I still don't love this one. We're gonna do it. And Christian likes it a lot. Lise likes it a lot, and our producer liked it a lot too. Oh, maybe you don't.
It's all right.
It's fine. It's fine. It's only got this huge magical ending,
Yeah, exactly. It has, but the funny thing is it's been the most well-received song. Everybody we know knows that song. Everybody in the comments, it's the videos that have taken off in different areas, and we're like, oh, well, that's cool. It's getting the most radio play by a landslide.
By a lot, yeah.
Yeah. And I do like playing it live. That's always fun because you can get a good crowd interaction that Lot does. Lisa and I have this little really corny dance, but the whole point is to be corny. So it was on purpose. And that music video, we didn't really have a ton of ideas. And Christian came to me and he goes, "Listen,
I had an idea.
Yeah.
I saw a video prior and I'm like, that gives me a great idea. It wasn't the exact idea, but I was thinking, I'm like, Meredith. I go to Meredith. I'm like, I want to break through a wall. I don't know how.
He goes, "I want to bust through a wall." And I go, "How are you going to do that?" And he goes, "That's what you're here for." I have the ideas. You have the execution. But the funny part is when he said that, I knew immediately what we were going to do. So we ended up stretching wallpaper over cardboard. And it worked out very well.
Great.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it was a very clever idea.
Right.
It looked like y'all were a little uncomfortable, just kind of hanging out for 3 minutes. Just...
You should have seen the back of it. Behind it, we had chairs set up. We had a table set up. I mean, we were laying on different objects we could find. It was crazy, yeah.
Where the holes was very awkward. You couldn't stand, but you couldn't sit. So you were just kind of crouched over for a while. And someone's like, okay, we got the shot. You can move now.
I like it. So did you guys kind of just do that video by yourselves then?
Yes. All of the previous music videos we've done by ourselves, filming, editing, directing, and you can definitely see the growth in there. But this next video that we're coming out with, which is end of April, early May, we don't have an exact date yet, is the first time we're like, we need to take a huge step up. So we hired a videographer and an editor, and the way it's coming together, I am stoked for this one.
Looks great so far, yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely interested to see that. I was definitely a big fan of the lyric video idea. I got it with you guys busting through the walls and kind of like where you were saying, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm just I'm wondering how are that can't be comfortable. Watching them watch you guys just come through and but So obviously you guys just dropped that. And you were talking about, releasing, another video. Do you have any plans for like another EP or album that you're able to like tell us about?
So we preface this by saying, here's
The
a
plan changes a lot.
It's fluid. It's a very
That's
fluid
fair.
plan.
Fluid,
That's fair.
fluid. That's nice.
Exactly. Our last 5 songs that we did, so we had Choke, Future, Story. I can't remember the other ones. So that was supposed to be an EP.
Okay.
And then eventually we would record these 5 songs that we're doing now, and we were going to put them together. But the growth in between just those and these 2 singles
Right.
that we released, they don't fit.
Right.
And then the goal was, okay, well, these next songs then we'll put together and have a whole album. And already just the bare minimum scratch tracking, we're like, these aren't gonna fit either. So I think our goal right now is to release 5 singles, stick them in an EP, and send it out that way.
Nice.
And we haven't done a full album yet, and I would love to do that in the next 1 to 2 years. But we'll see what happens because there's a lot of traveling going on, and we never want to be in a stage where we don't have music to release for a year and a half. So we're trying to roll
Right.
as much as we can
Yeah,
as we
right.
travel as well.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's a very like today's industry is very like singles and EP based. A lot of people just want the one big, banger, or like even just like a couple songs, even if they're getting music like more frequently that way as opposed to like a full length. So it kind of makes sense. And especially if you guys are stylistically kind of, continuing to evolve too, kind of makes sense to kind of find your stride a bit, so I get that. I get that.
It's tough because people say they want an album, and they do, but they want it all. They want the album. They want an album, but they also want you to keep putting out music consistently.
Right. Yeah. You guys just spent a year writing this record. Awesome. We love it. Can you give us like 3 new singles next week? That's kind of how it is.
Exactly, yeah.
Just get
Like
us
people
some
want
more.
everything and they want it now.
Yes, you get it.
We actually ran into that problem like earlier. We did 5 songs a while ago, and we did 5 songs in 5 months was what our marketing ploy was.
And that was the first time we had released songs. So it was not our very big beginning CD as we started out. This was oh, cool, we're a band now. We're actually wanting to do something with this. We're going to try our hand at this.
Yeah, and so we released those like super quick succession, and we got a lot of like positive feedback on it, but then we didn't have music to release for like the next year, and people were like, "Where's the rest of the music?" And we're like,
Right.
"We're working on it still." Like,
You have it.
You spoiled everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fickle market now, especially with, like I said, just people want, but they don't understand all of the work that goes into it. When you are planning out singles, you're also planning out videos, and you're planning shows around that. Like, being a musician in this day and age is absolutely insane. It's a circus. It's insane. There's so much.
It's not just you're not just the music aspect. You are everything.
And you have to be.
Yeah.
If you want it to work, you have to be. It's crazy. Okay, so for those of our listeners that don't know, all y'all are siblings.
Yes.
What's it like being in a band, having to work together all the time, and then go home and still have to be with each other? So how's that? What's the dynamics of that?
I personally love it. I find it a lot easier to work with my siblings because like you guys you grow up the same way, you eat the same food, you have the same sleeping schedule, everything's just so easy, and y'all think alike. Like if I'm trying to spit out an idea, people are not like, what? They're like, oh yeah. I just find it a lot easier.
I do. The one thing, so we had another bassist with us for a couple years, and that was before we got serious and thought that we wanted to do this for a living. That was just word of mouth. We were having fun playing. We were young. And the one thing I always said, I'm like, I will never be in a family band. Like, absolutely not. That is so lame. I'm not going to do that. And then he left to pursue other career options, and she joined. And I'm like, this is actually the best thing ever. So I actually recommend that to everybody. I'm like, no, be with your siblings. It creates such a fun dynamic. And if there's fights or if like something goes wrong, at the end of the day, you know you're a team.
Yeah.
Um, which I do think you can create with people as well, but it's ingrained in you from birth when you're siblings.
Right.
Yeah, just to piggyback off that, like when we weren't part of like a family band or full family, it was definitely harder practice wise and things like and travel as well. Just because we had like two different small families trying to make it work, but just doing like just siblings. It's like we practice in the morning, at night, whenever works for us.
Yeah.
I mean, we just, hey, I need you to do this real quick. Like, okay, I have time after this. And they're like, oh yeah, I understand that. It's not like having to explain to like a different non-family member, like, I can't get to it right now, but I will. And they're like, you're not in this team. You know what I mean? So
Like, give me
Right.
5 I
yeah,
promise.
yeah.
Fair. Do you have? Are there any like specific kind of like family fickle like things that like kind of like you like poke at each other about a little bit?
Yes. Yes. Meredith? Okay.
Hey now.
No, I just have
No,
ready
get him.
I
Get him.
just have to throw this out there. Meredith is one of those people that keep her keyboard clicks on when she types.
Oh,
Oh,
yes, she
no.
does. It drives me
Oh.
crazy.
It drives me up a wall.
No,
It's
and like when it's like 11 or 12 at night, we were trying to go to sleep so you have to get up early the next day. She's clicking away. I'm like, Meredith, I need to sleep. Please.
like I understand you're scheduling and getting things ready for us tomorrow, but like it makes me feel like
You
there's
can't, like,
spiders.
If they're not on, and they're not even on that loud.
Oh, they're loud.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know. It like I don't know. Yeah, I don't have an excuse.
Look, so with you trying to come up with like an excuse for it, it immediately just I want to say reminds me of my daughter. So no, hear me out. Hear me out. So there's this one thing it drives me absolutely crazy, and it just drives like I don't know why. It's a petty thing, but
Yeah.
like she can't watch something without subtitles on. Like it's always got to be on, no matter what.
Those
But
people.
let me also
That's
say
me.
let me also say that she's never watching it. So it's on, but she's never watching it. Okay. And the reason it drives me nuts because her reasoning for it is like, well, I hear it better with the subtitles on. I'm like, but you're not looking. You're not even looking. Looking. How do you hear better? How do you understand it better if you aren't
that's
seeing the words?
That is exactly. Lise watches a bunch of like Japanese shows that aren't in English at all.
Yeah.
So she'll have the subtitles on, and she
that's
won't
fair.
even be watching it. And I'm like, okay.
What's
That's like doubly worse then.
Background noise. I don't know.
You need the subtitles for that. I'm talking like she'll just be watching Euphoria or whatever awful thing she's watching at this moment, and just just not watching, staring at her phone, but she can hear it better because the subtitles are on.
crazy.
Hey,
I love
hey.
it.
Meredith's
I love-
like, I relate to that. Oh.
Yeah, but I make like idle threats all the time. Like I'm just gonna get rid of the TV. You can't turn those subtitles off. I swear to God. I don't know why. I don't know why it bothers me. It doesn't even really bother me at this point. It's just like funny, and I like
the
to tell
concept of it seems to bother you more than the actual
Yeah,
like you got those subtitles on, but you're not even watching it. Like, what's going on here, bud? So get getting back to the sibling thing. I mean, you kind of talked about it, but like how like take us back a little bit. Like how did you guys actually like start as a band? I know you mentioned you had different bassists at one point, but like where are the roots at?
So a long time ago. So I started playing guitar around 13. That was like the fourth time I picked it up and it finally stuck. I started writing songs and I was part of a youth group that really didn't have room for me. And so through that experience of you can't do this, there's no way you're gonna do this, blah blah blah, I lost a lot of confidence and was like, I thought I could play decently, I could sing decently. People were telling me I could, and I loved doing it. Like the joy was there. But not having other people in my life believe in me, I was like, oh, maybe not. But long story short, that youth group had two bands come in just for a rock show, and they opened. I happened to play electric guitar. I could play like 4 chords at this point, Yellow Brick Road chords. Their electric guitarist dropped out. I hopped in for that youth group opening. Like that's what happened. I couldn't even tell you
That's
how.
it.
It was just a sequence of events that rolled together in like 4 days straight. And the manager for one of the bands came up to me afterward and just said, for whatever reason, I feel like I'm supposed to encourage you. And my mom was there and was kind of like, who are you? And what do you want with my 14 or 13-year-old daughter, you know? And he invited us up to his festival up in Massachusetts. And we kind of thought the worst thing that would happen, we didn't go again. So mom, dad, Christian and I, we all hopped in the car and trucked down to Massachusetts. And that festival had every genre imaginable. Like there was screamo and reggae and rock and
rap,
like
and yeah.
yeah, there was like a banjo and then bagpipes. Like anything you could think of, a band was there at this festival. And I remember looking around and just realizing something, like I audibly heard it click, and everybody there was like me. I knew this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I asked Christian on the way home and he said, "Hey, you want to start a band?" And he said,
Yes.
so we played on the lawn of a bookstore. I think we made like $20. We thought we were rolling in it for our very first show. And it was very acoustic. I just had the acoustic guitar. Christian would play cajon. And when I say this kid was nervous, he completely took the cajon and faced it like sideways so we didn't have to look at the people. I have video evidence of this, which cracks me up.
I love it.
And we just did word of mouth for a couple years. We had another bassist and still just word of mouth. We were having fun, just playing around, not really pursuing it, so to speak, just kind of letting things happen. And I think 17 or 18 I was, which makes that basis 16, 17. And he started a 40-hour-a-week job, and so he was making steady money. And as a 17-year-old, making steady money versus being in a word of mouth band, you kind of want to go with the steady money, right? And
Right.
so he stepped down. And that's when Christian and I realized, oh, we definitely want to do this. We like there really was no other option. That was the career path that we wanted to choose. And so she joined. Well, she raised her hand and said, "I'll play bass for you guys." And we go, "You've never played an instrument before in your life, really." She took my old bass, gave it to her within 2 months, flying, learned our songs, and just gelled so well. So that has worked out very well.
Yeah.
And that was about 3 years ago. And that's, again, when we took it seriously and decided to promote and run it as a business and just see how far we could take it while we're actually putting energy and legwork behind the brand, so to speak.
I love
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
And so, because you were talking about you were starting to do a lot of this when you guys are still in high school. So this definitely will pertain to you as well. But this question currently resides towards Lise here. So with you guys, you've all performed in, all over the US, Canada, Mexico, and you've performed in front of massive crowds, right? What's it like going from like the quote unquote rock star persona and then going right back to high school the next day or the next couple of days? What's that like? Like, because I know when I was in high school, that's just all I wanted.
Right. Yeah.
So what's that like?
It's definitely kind of like a weird feeling to like be traveling all the time, like living pretty much out of a car to go back and like be in school full time.
Mhm.
But I mean,
Did anybody say anything to you? Like, did your
No.
teachers know?
my school doesn't necessarily care. They're all like, "Oh, you're in a band, cool." I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't
That's
understand."
cute.
I don't know, like,
Yeah.
You don't get it. Like, I'm in a band.
definitely have a lot of supporters, but a lot of people are like, "Okay, cool," couldn't really care less. So, but
Lisa's also, I know she doesn't come across
I
me, but
am a very shy, very introverted kid. I like in the back of the classroom. I don't speak. I like sit by the windows. I'm just like very, very quiet.
so I
So
think
that's also probably a
part
big
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as well.
So did the rest of you, did you guys go through any of that sort of stuff, or were you not performing in as big a stuff yet?
So I definitely felt a little bit. I wasn't necessarily performing in the bigger venues at when I was in high school.
Sure.
But we do a festival around here that a lot of my friends saw me and they're like, dude, that's sick. And I was like,
That was the first time everybody went, oh, we understand what you're doing now.
right. And so high school was definitely interesting. They're like, wow, that's so cool. And like the next day they were like, cool, man. Like, I don't know how to be friends with you now. But college was definitely different because I would tell like teachers and stuff that I'm gonna be missing like weeks at a time. And they're like, where are you going? And I'm like, I'm flying down to Mexico to play a show. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And some of them are like, that's crazy. And others were like, don't care. As long as you get the homework in, like that's fine. And
I don't
one of
care, rock star. Just get your shit done.
yeah,
Yep.
basically. And one of my teachers actually asked me for a slideshow of it. So I kind of took all like the different photos we got, some of the videos, and then sent it to her for a grade. And I didn't have any work that like she's like, as long as you don't have to do any work, as long as I get like this slideshow, you're all cool. And I'm like, that's awesome. I'll definitely do that. And she was like, I had no idea because it looked like a really big crowd, like on camera. And it was a fairly big crowd. And like there's like fire going off. We have like a
Yeah.
big screen behind us. And she's like, I would have never guessed. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of what I do in my free time. So
I just
So
always have
modest.
pyro around me. Not
Right.
a big deal.
You know, get in the car, head out to the store. There's like little pyro streamers behind you the whole time.
Drive 10 hours.
There he goes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that is really cool. I mean, and I kind of I had a similar experience back in high school. I my senior year of high school and junior year, I did a fair bit of touring as well too. And I had a very similar experience. Where, like I get back to school and it's like most people were just like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and some
Whatever,
people were
Keith.
like, oh, yeah. Some people thought it was really cool. Most people were just like, whatever. Don't miss your finals. You know, like. But you guys have stated that between the three of you, you're inspired by some artists such as like Impending Doom, Flyleaf, Gojira, and a couple others. But what continues to inspire you to push new boundaries with your music going forward?
Just recently, I've gotten into a ton of like Taylor Acorn.
Yeah.
And I think I don't listen to nearly as heavy music as these guys do. I always say I'm a vocalist first and foremost. I play guitar because we don't have a guitarist. So anything with good vocals is going to draw me. It does not matter what genre. And she's really like even just her tempo, I think is or what did I say the other day?
it wasn't like vibe, but it was like
No, it
something
was-
like that.
like how you write your words, the cadence of how
Mhm.
you write your words to create a story, I think is fascinating. Like same with like Nickelback songs. No offense, some of their lines are really not good in my opinion, but
sure.
the cadence
Yeah.
of the way he sings it makes it
Work,
fascinating
yeah.
and
Mhm.
makes you pay attention. So I think taking those elements definitely into these new songs that we're writing is what I'm really working on, is almost to take a line that might not be the best line, but make it cool by the way you sing it or the inflection.
Interesting.
So what you're trying to tell me is that you don't think, look at this photograph, every time I do it makes me laugh? That's not going to change someone's life? Are you trying to tell me that?
I
right now?
mean,
I mean,
I mean,
Look at this fluffy cat.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
No.
hey, you know what? There's a reason that music sells so well. You know, there's an art to it. There's a science
Yeah.
behind it. You know, and yeah,
Called
I mean,
cadence.
yes, yes, cadence. We should flash that in front on the screen when we edit this. Cadence. Everyone say it together now. Cadence.
cadence.
There it is.
Word of the day.
What
What about the rest of you though? Do you have anything that like inspires you, like Lise, what inspires you to become a better bass player? Christian, what is there anything, because like I said, we know what got you into and started to inspire you, but what continues to inspire you to become better at your craft?
Personally, like watching other bands like inspires me a lot. Like watching how bassists like every bassist plays in a different style. Like I
Mhm.
play a different style than someone who would use like their thumb as picking or something like that. But like I love watching other bassists and be like, oh cool, I want to learn how to do that. Or okay, cool, I need to get better to be able to do that. that and my siblings also kind of feel like help me
We push her a
grow.
little.
Yeah,
We
that's
push her a lot.
Stop, don't make me mean.
they definitely because I definitely have to get better in some aspects and like they push
No,
me
we
to
push her to
get
get
better,
Yeah.
Oh,
which
okay.
I appreciate. And then also just like personally, I also like drive myself to get better too.
One of her favorite sayings is that she got pushed off the deep end and was
Oh,
told to
okay.
learn to
So
swim.
since I joined 3 years ago, they've already been in bed for 4 years. So
Mhm.
I was shoved off the deep end and told to swim. I had to learn all of their songs and have a stage presence in less than 2 months. Thanks, guys. I
So
appreciate it.
we definitely have, yeah,
definitely
we pushed
pushed me.
you for a while, but no, you were really there's a lot of growth, I think, in a lot of areas. If you know, watching through the different videos you see, we always try to get better every release, every show, that
Mhm.
kind of thing.
So going back to your question, what inspires me or continues to, I take different drummers from different genres and then try to replicate that or some aspects of those into our songs. So like I took a look at like Jay Weinberg, what does he do? Kind of copied a little bit over there. I took a look at Mario Duplantier from Gojira, took some of his like Tom stuff, put that in, and then I took a look at crap, what's his name? He does Drummers of Planet Earth, um Dope Sticks.
Okay.
Eric Moore. Eric Moore. I took a look at Eric Moore, kind of saw that he did like some of the jazzy, more like fusion type stuff, took some of his aspects, and that like I just find new drummers that I'm like, I can't play that yet, and I want to. And that really helps inspire me because I look at them and like I want to be as good of a drummer as these guys are, but be able to do all of it. You know what I mean? And I so
Right.
and do it well, you know what I mean? So I take a look at those types of things, try to combine them with my own personal style, and then throw it into our music to help elevate it. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like part of being a musician is always, growing and always being better. And one of the things that me and
Smart.
Brett were even talking about, is beforehand, was just like, I know that because when we were trying to come up with this question, we wanted to think of a new way of asking like the same old question, because everybody's like, well, who inspires you? Well, I mean, because I think of who inspired me to become a musician. Okay, cool. But, 10 years down the road, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, that's not like, I'm not trying to be Green Day anymore.
Right,
It's,
yeah.
it's that when I was learning to play, I was trying to do that because that's, my first inspiration. But as a musician, you continue to grow and change and you get new inspirations. And so I like asking that. I like seeing who
Mhm.
like originally inspired you, which we found in a bunch of different places. But so
Yes.
now we want to find out new stuff from you.
Yeah, I like that. That was a new one. I enjoyed that.
Well, good, good. We did our job. All right.
Good job.
We
Good
got
job, us.
Thanks. Thanks. Um, so we got one more question before we go to a quick break. If you could give our listeners a piece of advice that you know now, and I think this will be fun because you're all coming from different spots here. If a piece of advice that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting out down this journey, what would that be?
We literally, when we meet bigger artists, that's exactly what we ask them.
The first
Mhm.
thing that we ask.
Yeah, and you learn so much. Oh man, I gotta think on this now.
This is the question. So if you guys go back and listen to 171 episodes or whatever we're at currently, this is the question we ask every guest since day one. So
So
there's thousands of things to learn.
I have three things right off the bat.
Love it.
First, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's huge. Asking questions get you into places and gets you to learn more than you ever would have. Like, don't be the worst thing they can say is like, I don't care, I'm not going to answer your question. And I've
And
had
they
people have said that to me. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. Like, it is what it is. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Two, practice your craft. You have to practice.
Mhm.
I used to get like jitters and super nervous, and then when I realized if you just practice a whole bunch, muscle memory kicks in. So if muscle memory doesn't kick in your shows, you haven't practiced enough. Like it's practice is like the key element in anything. And then the third thing is social media. And I know like bands nowadays have to do that. So I started managing our social media a year ago, and the thing that I learned was take one day out of your week. We do Sundays, get all of your content for social media for the whole week. So we spend an hour to 2 hours Sunday and film 3 or 4 reels, do a couple stories, and then we'll post it throughout the week. And that gives us like time to think of new ideas for the next week. We don't have to worry about the social media aspect. That's fully out of the way. And then you can focus on merch, marketing, music playing, all of that as well. So that's what I think is my 3 key elements, I guess.
My
Cool,
biggest
great.
thing, you have to remember that you're a team. So if
Mhm.
you're all working towards the same goal, everybody has different opinions on how to get there, but as long as you have the same goal in sight and you acquiesce to whoever is in charge of that
No.
area, it usually works out pretty well. Like now that he's taken over social media, there are things I wouldn't do, but you know what? He's grown it. It's working. It doesn't harm you. So I go, okay, well, that's what you're gonna do. When I do the booking and the managing, there's times where like, why are we doing that? And then they're like,
And
you
it
know what?
works.
That's
Yeah.
your job. That's why you do it. It's because things work when you do that. And with merch, like she runs all of like our merch stuff. And so there's times where like, well, let's do this. And she goes, no, I like it organized this way, or I want it this way. And you know what? It works well because that's her job and she's in charge of it. And she's had the experience in that field to learn why things work and don't work. But just remember you're a team and you have the same goal.
I would say don't let anything like hold you back and just go for it. Like as a very like self-conscious or like quiet
High
person,
schooler.
like
Yeah.
person, even like on stage, I'm like, oh, people are looking at me, like they're gonna judge me. But then
Judge me, whatever you do.
but like now I'm so confident in who I am and who I want to be on stage that now I just have fun. I don't care if they judge me. I'm just having a good time and I'm like happy with what I did. So like I'm really happy with myself and how I make myself happy by being who I truly am. I don't know if I-
Absolutely. All of those are super, super like good advice. Like
Yeah.
like especially like working as a team, like and delegating tasks to each person, because one of the easiest ways to get burnt out on a person in your band is if
Yeah.
you're doing everything and they're doing nothing and
No
still
comment.
and still yeah, and still getting the same, the same treatment, same cuts, all that sort of stuff. And I think most bands like definitely know what that's like, you have those people. So delegating is so important to working as a good team and having fun. If you're not having
Right.
fun,
Yeah. Having
there's
fun.
no
Right,
point
why-
in doing
yeah.
it if it's not fun.
Right.
Also, I just wanted to say with like social media as well, like making sure that you're having fun doing that as well, because there's so many people that hate that aspect of it. And it's like, yeah, dude, it sucks. Sometimes it sucks, but then try to figure out a way to have fun doing it. Then don't make a video if you don't like it. Don't worry about that sort of stuff, because if you're unique and you're your own personal you, that's going to attract more people anyways.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. And with that,
All right.
we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with our next segment. Thank you so much again to Open Your Ears Records for partnering with us to help bring even more new artists to your attention. Now, again, Open Your Ears Records is an amazing independent record label out of Richmond, Virginia, with a killer lineup of up-and-coming bands and artists. We talk about this every week now. This week is a big one, though. Another One Down just released their highly anticipated EP, Face Reality, on Friday, May 2nd, featuring the singles Pressure and Sinners and Saints. Off of Open Your Ears Records, Face Reality brings you high emotion and fast-paced intensity from start to finish, so make sure to stream the hell out of it and get out to a show if you're in the area. Make sure to also follow them and Open Your Ears Records on their socials at Another One Down RI and OYE Rex. You're going to want to follow them so you can keep up with them and everything that they've got going on. You can also once again check out our interview with Another One Down back on episode 104 or season 3, episode 35. Thank you so much again to Open Your Ears Records for partnering with us and for sponsoring this episode.
All right, you guys, welcome back. We are back from our little commercial break. Thank you so much for sticking around. We're going to be hopping into our Food for Thought segment where we talk about everyone's favorite subject on this podcast, food. So I guess I'll start this one off. You guys are really family oriented. If you had to make a meal for each other on an off day on tour, what would you guys make for each other?
I'm gonna go first. I would make Meredith tacos.
Yep.
Tacos
Yep.
with
Tacos
with
100%.
or like a side of fruit or something. Christian, I would probably make a steak
Steak.
with a side of either. I would probably say mashed potatoes.
Yes.
I would probably say mashed potatoes.
That's a good one. See, I wouldn't make anything with corn.
Oh, thank goodness.
We have a long back history with corn. We're
Oh,
not going to
yeah.
get into it right now.
I love corn.
Said no. Meredith said yes.
They need their vegetables,
Mhm.
okay? I would probably, I don't know. I usually make some sort of like sausage and broccoli and cheese sauce, or some sort of like fried chicken. Not like baked chicken, I should say, something like that. I would do that. We actually cook a lot.
We cook a lot. Yeah.
Lee sends up. I usually get the recipes, and when we're filming, let's say we're filming, and we have like 6 days in a row, we'll switch dinners off and on. But you've cooked a lot
I
recently.
typically am the one that cooks while they continue to work.
Yeah,
I keep them fed. You're welcome.
That's
Wow.
enjoy that.
What a
For
peach.
me, I know Meredith loves tacos. She said she's going to have a taco bar at her wedding. So
Oh yeah.
she is a taco person through and
Mm.
through.
Can I
Taco.
come? I
I
love.
was gonna say
tacos.
same. I'll bring the sign.
Oh,
And then
I'll bring the banner.
I feel like I do a hamburger for you.
I was
With an egg.
I was like,
Oh,
Mm.
least discovered eggs on hamburgers. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
oh, good. Thank you.
So
Get
good.
it. You get it.
Like, what? You don't want to stand until you try it. Try it and
So
so
That
good.
is so good.
I love it. I love a good breakfast burger with an egg and like a
Yeah.
little hash brown on it.
Mm.
Ooh.
You guys are making me hungry now.
Yeah,
was gonna say, like,
that's
I've-
what happens here. That's what the point of this.
Rumbling already.
I
So-
was gonna say I was just telling my better half as well too. I'm very much in my egg phase of life where like I've been, if I can put an egg on it, I'm doing it because I just for some reason I just can't get enough egg.
They're so good,
It's my
especially
egg
now when they're
phase.
so expensive. It's
I
perfect
was
time
gonna
to go
say this
become
first
obsessed.
time.
So let me tell you. All right, I'm gonna make you hungry. Okay, so there's this restaurant that is across the street. Okay, from me, and
Combo.
it's tough because burgers are my favorite, and it is called Big Daddy's Burgers, and they have one of the best burgers I've ever had in my entire life.
Ooh.
It's their breakfast burger, and it's got an egg and bacon on it. And now this may sound weird to some, but I promise you it's not. And peanut butter.
Yes.
I kid you not.
He knows.
It'll change your life. And the buns are French toast, and you dip it in syrup. Now it's gonna give you a heart attack,
Right.
Yeah.
but if you only eat one
Honestly,
every once in a while, you'll be okay.
I'd be down to give that a shot.
me too.
Yeah.
I could dabble.
If
The
you
peanut
haven't tried
like,
yet,
yes.
if you haven't tried this yet, I promise you, if you try a peanut butter bacon burger, it's a game changer. Like,
Mhm.
it's not something you can have all the time. It's not, but it is so rich, and it's just so good if you do it right.
I believe it. Yeah.
You like the peanut butter threw me,
The peanut butter did. Yeah.
but with French toast, it's all like that brings it back around. You know
Right.
what I
Right.
Yeah.
And you would and the syrup added on it, and now it sounds crazy, But you know, if you're dipping it in there, you choose the capacity of your syrup.
True. True.
Syrup savant over here.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know.
Wait, where are both of you from? Because you say syrup and you say syrup.
Oh.
I'm from Wisconsin.
Okay.
I'm from Minnesota, so we're neighbors, neighboring
Right.
states.
Right.
But
Gotcha.
I am closer to Canada.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So I was like, aren't you guys in a band together, right?
No.
No?
Nope.
Why did I think that? I thought that.
Nope.
Okay.
I play in a band.
Okay.
Well, we both been in bands for as long as we could remember, but not in a band together. Not yet, at least. Not yet.
We
At
are
least.
we have dabbled and talked a lot
Yes.
about an unsigned pop punk bands though.
Right, because Gibby, our other member, who also does the podcast,
Yeah.
he's
plays
also a
bass.
musician.
Yeah.
Spoiler, he plays bass. I play a little bit of everything. I'm mainly a drummer, but
it's
I play
basically
guitar
perfect because
There you go.
he plays drums, I play guitar, and Gibby plays
Mhm.
bass. So
Yep.
Nice.
Although I haven't drummed in a band since 2019. I play guitar and sing in a band right now. So
that's good because we don't need a guitar player. We need a
right.
drummer,
This is
Brett.
true. This is I know, and you know it helps. It's good for my cardio. Guitar
Yeah.
doesn't get me much cardio these days. So yeah.
Okay, back to food because we only got through one so far. All right, so I know Meredith, especially you like to stay healthy. You like working out. How do you guys? Yeah, and whether or not you do stay healthy, it's up to you. But how do you stay healthy while you're on the road? Like, what are some of your like go-to snacks, foods, beverages? And if you don't try to stay healthy, I want to know that too.
So this is really funny because we're all siblings who grew up in the same family. So we have a lot of the same eating habits. And I can literally tell you exactly what we eat for every meal because it's very
Sandwich,
Yeah.
cheese, and yogurt.
Yeah, breakfast is a lot of whatever
The hotel
is. Yeah, like so we do a lot of like salmon or a lot of sausage, eggs, fruit, that type of thing.
Bagels are big.
Yeah, bagels, toast. Lunch is always from our cooler usually, and that is we have yogurt, we have sandwiches, we have fruit, we have some sort of like crackers, cheese. We keep a lot of salami and pepperoni on
Beef
us.
jerky's huge.
We kind of just a lot for lunch.
I love beef jerky.
Random snacks like protein bars, things like that, trail mix. Dinner is usually provided by the venue when we're on the road, but that's when we'll get in our meat or some sort of like real food is what we call it.
Yeah.
And I don't eat a ton of meat just because my body doesn't process it that well, so I don't have problems. I just eat whatever. But these two die without some good sustenance. So we've talked about getting because sometimes we have a couple days off or whatever. We've talked about getting
A small George Foreman grill.
Yeah.
So we can make hamburgers, hot dogs,
Little
cook some
things.
sausages. Yeah.
Aldi's has great what was it? Bacon wrap? I don't eat steak either.
They're
I
like,
don't
they're
steak.
like, they're like
They
little
do.
6-ounce sirloin steaks. They're
But like
beautiful.
bacon
Yeah.
wrapped, and they love those. Yeah.
I used to bring a pizzazz on the road. That was my favorite thing. A pizzazz. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a game changer. I don't know if they still even make them, but I
don't know if
have
they
one.
do.
I have one in my office, and it's a portable pizza maker. So it's got this little triangle like heater, and and then you put the pizza on it, and it just spins it around. But you're like looking at it. It's just and you could it just plugs in.
Almost
And-
like a rotisserie for
Cool.
pizza,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like a souped up what's a little oven? What's that thing called?
Oh, easy bake oven.
Toaster oven.
Oh,
That's what it
toaster.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except, there's no door or anything. It's just the pan, you put it on it, and then just the little heater that goes above it here, and then it heats it up as it's spinning.
How long does it typically take?
10 minutes.
Hey, Christian's like,
I'm seriously thinking about this. Yeah.
Dude, get on it. Like
You know,
Because
it
there is a-
doesn't really move. You can plug it in the van if you have,
Mhm.
like your little outlets set up, and
Those things were a staple back in the day. I remember there was a time like every recording studio I go to, they'd have one of those set up somewhere, whether it was like in like the live room or something like that. Like you just saw them everywhere.
awesome.
oh, I'm sure you can just find one somewhere.
Oh yeah, eBay's a
The-
great thing.
eBay, Probably Amazon even.
Amazon
still,
has to have it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or a better, like a newer version of it.
Vintage pizzazz.
But yeah, it's a game changer though. They're great.
Heck
Make a
yeah.
pizza anywhere.
And you get warm food. That's
Warm
not
food.
usual. Yeah.
Yeah,
Farm
well,
food.
you can make anything on it because it's just a little heater, you know.
Yeah.
Like some tater tots,
Oh yeah,
Tater
French
tots.
fries.
I say when we're on the road is actually probably our most healthy because you're in like all you are is you're like eating and playing and sleeping, eating, playing and sleeping. Like we
Yeah.
go to the gym, you eat, you play, you sleep. Go to the gym, you eat, play, you sleep, and you just over and over and over. But when we get home and if you've been out for a while, you crash for like a week, and that's when all the brownies and the cookies and the cereal, the easy things to grab, definitely.
See, yeah, and I mean that's why we started this segment because like as a band, this is part of your life. Like is just food stuff. You don't do a lot. Everyone glamorizes, you know, being on the road, and it's awesome. Being on tour is one of the coolest things ever. However, you don't do much other than drive, sleep, play a show, and eat stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Like
always feel really good when we get back from tour because like I eat lean, stuff like that. And
You-
I eat
He loses 10 pounds.
I eat a lot. So every time we go on tour, I typically sit around like 165. When I get back, I weighed 155 last time. I felt like crap. I'm not
Oh,
even
no.
kidding.
Not happy.
I was skinny. I didn't feel good. I'm like, I don't have a lot of energy.
And Lisa and
Like,
I were like, oh, this fruit is great. Like, we
Yeah.
feel awesome.
I feel awful, guys.
I just think because we don't keep, like, what's it?
you don't keep enough. Like,
yeah, for him to eat. Yeah.
Well, and it sounds like you guys are kind of like unicorns, you know. That is not how many bands eat on the road. You know,
yeah.
gas station food constantly.
We
You
run
know.
into that a lot. And these other bands are like, man, we always feel like crap. And like, what do you guys eat? We're like, we eat yogurt.
But we
And it's easy. Like, we go to Aldi's once a week. We pack our cooler. It sits under the van.
Yeah.
Or sits under the seats in the van.
We
and-
never eat out. If we do eat out, we'll have like one date that we're like we specifically set, and it's somewhere nice. Well, nice. Texas Roadhouse, something like that.
Applebee's, Chili's, you know.
Yeah.
Olive Garden. Yeah. But it's just we've learned if you're not on a good sleep schedule, if you're not on a good eating schedule, you can't keep going for
Yeah.
long periods of time. You feel awful, your performance becomes awful. And we've had experiences where we're like, oh, that was not our best show. And it was because we
We
stayed
ate
up.
crap,
We
yeah.
stayed up to 3, whatever, you know.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but I was
Yeah.
just waiting for Brett. I thought he was going to go
Oh.
into it. So, like,
Oh yeah, no. Well, I was, but there's like a little bit of a hang up there.
Yeah.
Well, I guess kind of a good follow up to that question then is like, yeah, when you do get home, then like, what is? I guess we could do like person by person if we want, but what is like the very first restaurant you're gonna go to eat when you get home?
because
You've
you
been-
guys
you've been
said you're
touring
like
and
you
playing-
wait. Tour
Yeah.
ends. Now's time.
Y'all
Now's
are,
the
y'all
time
are
for-
like,
for-
I'm done with this yogurt. I got to sit down at a restaurant back at home.
We
Where are you guys
have
going?
a family-owned hometown restaurant in our town
Ooh.
called Jeb's. And that is listen, I go to restaurants, I get chicken tenders and french fries. Like, that is what I enjoy. So don't judge me. And they are the best fries I have ever had. And I've tried a lot of fries. I'm a fry connoisseur, if you will. And they are like the best. Really, anything I get there, like the Caesar salad, I love. That's the restaurant that I think even last year
Yeah.
I was
you
like,
went,
that's
yeah.
my end of tour, like just relax culmination of everything. And go to Jeb's. That's it.
Yeah, if you're ever in the area, go to Jeb's. Yeah.
All right.
Jeb's.
Jeb's?
Is it Jebs for all three? Is everything Jebs?
Not for me, no.
Yeah,
He's like,
I mean,
no.
I would honestly probably go to Boondocks. I clean hotels on the weekends, and so they own.
It's so random.
No, well, they own the hotel, they own like the wedding spa, and then they own the restaurant. So
Yeah.
like for Christmas and my birthday and stuff, I get like, oh, $10 off of Boondocks, whatever. But I like really enjoyed their burgers and stuff, so I'd probably go there.
That's another like
That's
family-owned restaurant. Yeah, like a
Yeah.
town over from us.
So
Okay.
mine would definitely be Arby's.
Yes. All
I
right.
love their curly fries. I'm a
'Cause it-
huge curly
Mhm.
fry. I'll get like 3 large curly fries and just pound them. Like it's so bad. It's so bad.
In the car. He doesn't even wait till he gets home.
No, absolutely not.
No,
No,
you gotta
they're-
have them fresh.
I mean,
They gotta be
yeah.
fresh.
oh, so good.
He called me the other day and he's like, I am so mad. I'm like, what's wrong? And he
I
goes,
forgot about this.
no, and he was like, their cheese sauce changed.
Their cheese sauce. I used to have it with their cheese sauce, and the one in
Yeah.
our their sauce isn't like it's hard to describe. It's not as good as it once was, and I'm
Okay.
just heartbroken.
I'm sorry to hear that. Dude, Arby's curly fries though, they are
Yep.
the superior fry. I
They
don't
really
know.
are.
I don't know. Well, curly fries in general is just the superior fry. I don't
Right.
know why they're so good. I mean, they're so good.
They are.
They're just so good.
It's because they're curly. They taste like curly.
Now, Meredith, I just have to. I want to ask because you said that I don't remember your Jeb's. Okay, so Jeb's has the best fries. You said they had the best fries. I didn't hear you say they had the best chicken tenders though. Where has the best chicken tenders?
They do have very good chicken tenders, but I think the best chicken tenders I've had is Foley's, and I don't know if that's a chain or not. Their advertising slogan is literally the best chicken tenders, and
Really?
they are correct. I would say those are really good. I also like a little bit of spice though, so I think that might be why I tip that
A
way.
little bit of spice. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really careful when I cook for them because otherwise they
See,
cry.
like, burn your mouth. I need milk spice.
I did that. I just did this. I know how that goes. I was making food for me and my wife. I felt really bad. She does not like spicy food, and so she likes a little bit of spice, just a little bits. And uh, I really like. I don't eat a ton of meat, but I do eat certain kind of meat. But I also really like Morningstar Farm stuff. And so
Okay.
I got their buffalo like chicken patties. I just think they're really good. And I was gonna try and make like a sauced up, like a fancy little chicken patty dinner for us, you know?
Heck yeah.
And I thought I had Frank's Red Hot. That's not spicy. That's just a delightful little vinegar taste, okay? It's just
Right.
a little taste. And so I poured it into a bowl, and and I like tossed our little patties in there. And then once I like got it all made and stuff, I realized that it was Nashville hot and not. And look, it's not that hot, but it was significantly hotter than like just a normal Frank's Red Hot. And so I tried to like play it off, and she's like getting red. She is not
Oh,
happy with me. And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, well, I don't know. It was just Frank's Red Hot. And she was like, she's like, my stomach hurts. I'm just getting mad. She was not mad. I feel like I hurt her. I've hurt her feelings because I lied to her.
Wow.
And because then I was like, okay, I came clean. I was like, look, okay, it was actually Nashville hot. She's like, why'd you lie to me? I was like, well, I didn't. Maybe you would maybe you'd like it.
I don't know.
And-
I have no idea.
Maybe you
And
like it.
maybe that's why I didn't say anything, because maybe you'd like it. And she didn't. And I was wrong. I want everybody to know I was wrong. I never have lied. I was wrong. Just be straightforward. If you're making dinner and they don't like spicy, don't make it spicy. It's not that hard.
Good advice. That's great advice right there.
That was it was such a dumb moment. Like just the most like man moment I think I've done in a long time. Just me, man. Make stupid.
Happens. Happens. I'm gonna be honest. It happens.
Right. And from now on, we all just say that. Me, man, make stupid. Sorry.
My word.
All right. Last food for thought question. This is also our staple now, the new staple question. if Undefeated was a potato, what kind of potato would you be? You have to agree. You can't one say a curly fry and the other say a Jeb's fry.
Oh, okay.
You have to agree. This is a team
That's so
work.
It's like Taylor Swift.
Okay, to be honest, all fries, all potatoes taste the exact same to me, so y'all can decide.
Okay. So
I feel like Undefeated would be a steak fry. You know what I mean?
the thick cut.
It's thick cut ones. You know what I mean? Because we got a little bit of edge. You know what I mean? But we also have like that poppiness in there, like a little
The
spice.
sauce.
I think we're a steak fry. That's what we are.
That's
Don't
too
you make it
masculine.
Is it too masculine? So we need a dainty steak fry. What is that?
Yeah, all right. We'll be a dainty
A-
steak
a-
fry.
A French fry.
Like, yeah, I was trying, like, well,
But
no, a
French fries
steak.
too basic.
Yeah.
So I
What
think,
about
so
The
here's,
kind that's like your house spice kind of done. You know what I
So-
mean? Not just like your salt and pepper, but whatever their house spice is good.
so while you were talking, let me see if I can even maybe like get you all on the page with this, because I think a steak fry is a good one. Now, hear me out though. When you were talking about a steak fry and you're like, that's so thick, I pictured immediately that maybe you were talking about like wedge fries, those big
Wedge
thick-
fries, yeah.
Yeah.
potato
call them-
wedges? Potato wedges.
Yeah,
Is that
so
what they're called?
yeah,
Oh.
potato wedge. So,
Yeah.
but a steak fry is a
We're
thicker.
gonna be a wedge.
I think a wedge is too much because that's a
agree.
thick boy, you know. But a steak fry is just a thicker fry, but it's still got that seasoning. I think a steak
Steak fry.
fry is. I think
Steak
that's
fry.
your calling.
Steak fry.
Okay. All right.
I nailed that right on the head. Boom.
I can
Don't take too much from it, Christian. That's how you get in trouble. Don't take too much
I-
credit.
I can confidently say that if somebody asks us what kind of fry we are, we have an answer right ready. You heard it
I mean,
here
you don't even have to be a fry. You could be any kind of potato.
Just a potato, yeah.
Well, I said one of those yellow like salt potatoes, and Christian said, absolutely not. So unfortunately, I guess we're not that.
You sound white in the nicest way possible. Like a yellow salt potato.
Just a yellow salt potato. Just that's it.
Don't be hating on my yellow salt potato. Oh no.
I don't like seasonings, but I love ranch.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
actually hilarious because I do love ranch.
I do too. It's okay. All right. That is it for food for thought. Now it's time for rapid fire questions.
Friendships will be tested. Rapid fire questions.
Here, you're just going to speak from the heart. You're going to shoot from the hip. Whatever the first thing that pops into your mind, even if it's not one of the two options presented to you, you speak your truth. Okay?
You speak your truth.
Right. All right. You ready?
Ready? Okay.
See, these are the brand new ones. No one's had these yet. This is where friendships
I'm like
get.
sweating.
This is
What?
where.
1,
This is
2,
where.
3.
This is where friendships get tested.
Let's do
Friendships are getting tested here.
Let's do 1, 2, 3.
I go first.
Well, at least we'll need a little.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, you ready?
I know, but I know that you freeze for a second and then.
Yeah. I got it.
All right. Liquid Death or LaCroix?
Liquid death.
Liquid death.
I don't know what LaCroix is, so Liquid Death.
That's all right. Spotify or Apple Music?
Netflix.
I don't know Apple Music.
Apple Music.
Netflix? That was last season, dude.
Hesitancy, you were like Netflix. Like your
Well,
brain caught
My
up.
brain instantly said Netflix when he said it, and I'm like,
you know what?
that's
I
it's
appreciate
music.
that because I did tell you whatever your heart is telling you to say. You go for
Yep.
it. And you did. You sure did.
We're gonna learn some things.
If,
here.
and you know, if you would have yelled bagel bites, we would have taken that too.
All right. South Park or Family Guy?
South Park.
I have never watched either.
I have no preference.
Yeah.
I haven't watched either, so.
I literally have no frame of reference for each one. I'm sorry.
I think South Park's hilarious. Like that's funny.
There you go. I appreciate that about you.
Phineas and Ferb.
Okay, there you go. That's an option. Do you have a Meredith? Do you have a cartoon preference?
Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes.
Oh,
No.
Tom and Jerry is good.
I'll do the old Tom and Jerry's. I love those.
Scooby Doo.
Ooh, I do like
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
I
Good
knew you-
options.
Yes.
Good options.
I didn't watch a ton of cartoons. I like to read a lot. That's such a nerd thing to say. Oh my word.
What's your favorite book?
Don't even ask me that. There's so many. But
What's your
anything-
favorite series?
There you go. The Sarah J. Maas series I'm loving.
Okay.
That would be my current favorite author, I should say.
Is Sarah J. Maas the name of the book, or is that an
That's
author?
the author. The author.
Okay, what's the book series?
She has A Court of Thorn and Roses series, and then she
Okay.
has a Throne of Glass, and I
Okay.
forget the other one.
I've seen
Yep.
I've seen those covers.
You're like,
I haven't
those.
seen inside the book, but I've seen the covers.
And I know them's covers.
All right. PlayStation or Xbox?
Neither. I don't
Wii. I'll go Wii
Nintendo.
too.
All right. Nintendo.
know. Player, to
All
be
right.
honest.
Walmart or Target?
Target.
Target.
Yeah.
Walmart or Target. She's like, I don't know. Whichever one's more convenient.
That's fair.
Target has the good stuff, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not attracted to Target.
Target feels more like.
There is no appeal to me.
Oh, really?
But you like Walmart?
Walmart, I know it. I know I can
That
buy
is
stuff.
true.
I like Target,
I
man.
go there for the food, bro.
Target's a superior box chain.
I
brand.
was gonna say both Pat and I are like former like Target. Well, are you still at Target?
I'm still a Target.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I still-
yeah.
I still
We
Target
both
a little.
have some roots in Target.
But I don't. Let me just just say that has nothing to do with this, though.
No, Target. Is
I'm
still
not
superior.
I'm not working for Big Target right here. You know.
No.
All right. Pizza Hut or Domino's?
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. Actually, take it back, Domino's. Actually,
You can't.
I take it back.
Yes, but
We're
you're
told her
It's
to.
giving mixed signals right now.
I'm not gonna lie, chose it because you guys chose it. So I gotta go that one. I like their crust. Their crust is
You
better.
have the most time to think too, which is
It's
the
true.
3 seconds.
That
you know,
also is fair, though. But
I like
All right.
the
you
soft.
hopped on the bandwagon. Okay.
Literally anything I've had from Pizza Hut is always really good for fast food pizza.
Their sauce.
Yeah.
I like Pizza Hut. Yeah.
I think that both are pretty good cardboard pizza. You know.
Yeah.
They both do the trick.
Yeah.
Do you guys like brick oven pizza?
Yeah. I like
yeah.
pizza. I mean, I'll
Yeah,
eat
brick oven's
any
fine.
pizza.
Mm.
I'll eat cauliflower crust pizza.
Too.
I'll eat pizza.
Cauliflower crust pizza is
It's not that bad.
good. It's good.
Yeah, you
it's not
can
that
get
bad.
really good ones. You can get really bad
You can get
ones,
some
and
bad
I
ones.
don't
Yeah.
feel like there's an in between. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Our dad loves making homemade pizza. So, I mean, he has like the pans and the breadcrumbs,
Ooh.
and he's like perfected his recipe over the last 10 years. And like, he's very specific about
It's good
this.
though.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right, I'm coming over.
Right.
All right. Darth Vader or Voldemort?
Anakin.
Voldemort.
Darth Vader.
Anakin. All right.
It's Darth Vader, but I like him before he was Darth Vader. So
You say Anakin?
Anakin,
Oh.
he's like the person who becomes Darth Vader. I don't know
Isn't
if you
he
know
the one
that.
cut off his hand?
No, that's
Oh.
That's Luke Skywalker.
That's Luke.
Yeah. That's also, once again, if you're more of a hero person,
whatever.
whatever, I guess. All right. Good Charlotte or Simple Plan?
Simple plan.
Simple plan.
Simple.
That's, I don't like that one.
Good Charlotte.
Paramore.
Paramore. Okay.
Paramore.
Dude, I like the most. I'm going Paramore.
Good Charlotte does have some good stuff though.
They do.
Oh yeah.
Big into Good
Yeah.
Charlotte. I love Good Charlotte.
We actually just went and watched Simple Plan last year. We got tickets for Avril Lavigne, Simple Plan, and Girlfriends. I think we're opening for like $20 on the last
Nice.
day of our show.
They were awesome.
It was in Milwaukee. So we
Okay. I knew a few people that were at that show actually.
yeah,
Now you know more.
Yep. Now no more. Add to the list.
yeah, we did like a final woohoo, and then we went
That was
home.
at the amphitheater, right?
Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, on the Summerfest grounds. Yep.
Very cool
that's
venue.
cool. Yeah. it was.
Yes. First time I ever saw Blink-182 was there, actually.
That's cool.
Cool. That's very cool. Yeah.
I have not. Wait, where did you say it was at? Somerset or Milwaukee?
The Milwaukee at the Summerfest grounds. What used to be the Marcus Amphitheater. I forgot what they call it now.
Because I was like, you said summer, and I was thinking I was somewhere else. And I was like, Somerset? Because I was just at Somerset and I saw Limp Bizkit. That was awesome.
I was there 2 years ago for Fall Out Boy and Bring Me the Horizon. Actually, at that Somerset venue, at the same one.
The amphitheater. Good time.
Yeah.
Good times.
Good
Okay.
time.
However, that's it. You did it. You finished the podcast.
Oh, all right.
That was it. That was the end of
I was like,
Rapid
there's gonna be
Fire.
one really hard one.
There was never gonna
Like,
be a
who do you
hard
like
one.
better, Meredith or Christian?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Goes Christian. I'm
Like,
offended.
We would never. We would never. Because if we were gonna do that, like we're gonna be like, who do you like better? What if we're interviewing just one person? That'd be so silly.
Right. You or you?
Yeah. Or it's just
It
always
is
like,
it.
who do you like more, Meredith or Christian? That's just always a question. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Next podcast. Yeah, who?
Meredith or
Meredith.
Christian? Come on.
Fun.
Yeah, come on.
Duh. Haven't you heard?
It's your first
Oh
time?
my gosh, that's hilarious.
All right, but that's it. You did it. Finish the podcast. Now, it's your
Also,
chance. Let everybody know what you got going on, where they can find you, and what's next for Undefeated.
You can find all of our social media and music all under undefeated_official. That can Instagram, Spotify, YouTube Music, Facebook. You can find socials, everything, all under undefeated_official.
And we keep all of our events on bandsintown.com, which again is linked under all of our socials. So you'll be able to click right on our page and see it in one of the top links under undefeated_official.
Love it. Meredith, Christian, Lise, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. This was a ton of fun.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it was our pleasure. Well, guys, that's it. It's been another episode of the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast. We'll see you all on Monday.
Thank you so much for checking out the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button so you never miss an episode. And thank you to those who already are. Please rate and review the show to help the show be found by new people. And if you're in the position to help us grow, head on over to our website where you can find merch, our Patreon, and other ways that you can help at www.unsignedpoppunk.com. Let us know in the comments who else you'd like to see on the show and what other content you would like to see. Thank you so much for spending your time with us.